Queen Scialath slammed to the marble floor, violet blood arcing from a hole in her midsection armor. Every guard in the throne chamber whipped their plasma rifles toward Jonah Reyes. He lunged. His shoulder caught her rib cage. They tumbled behind the towering dais. Blaster bolts scorched the air above them, vaporizing stone into acrid dust. Scialath's clawed hand clamped his wrist. Her mandibles clicked in pain. Reyes, too late. Othuns betrayed us. He frames you. Jonah ignored the words. He yanked his field kit from his belt. Plasma wine filled the chamber. Guards shouted in the staccato alien tongue, firing at shadows. A bolt punched the dais edge. Shrapnel stung his cheek. He ripped open her armor plate. Gaping wound. Ragged edges pulsed. Human blood would clot fast. Hers wouldn't. Hold still. He slapped medical foam canister against the hole. Pressurized hiss. White foam bubbled in, expanding to seal flesh and bone. She hissed through gritted mandibles. You dare touch. Quiet. He smeared sealant gel over the foam. Clamps next. Magnetic lock snapped her chest plate shut. Pressure bandage cinched tight. Gunfire intensified. Guards advanced. Boots thudding. The human shot the queen. Purged the off-worlder. Wrong target. Chaos. Othuan's coup exploited the confusion. Jonah scanned the dais rear. Service hatch, knee-high, grated. He kicked it open. Rusted hinges groaned. Move. He hooked her arm over his shoulder. She outweighed him by 50 kilos, chitin dense as steel. He dragged her through. Hatch clanged shut behind them. Blaster fire pinged the metal. Narrow tunnel stretched ahead. Dim glow strips flickered on walls. Service conduits for the palace bowels. Scialath staggered upright. Her 4 legs wobbled, but held. Leave me. Save yourself. Fleet, inbound. Rax will glass the palace on my signal loss. No signal, no glassing. Jonah propped her against the wall. Checked his sidearm. Human issue Glock, 9mm. Useless against alien armor, but brains exposed it worked. Othun wants them blaming me. Human incident. Coup cover. She clutched her sealed wound. Antennae twitched. You comprehend our politics. Enough. He pulled his comm from a vest pouch. Galactic Standard Frequency. Keish Varun, Director. Respond. Static crackled. Then, Reyes? Throne chamber compromised. Queen status. Alive. Wounded. Athun's lead. Framed me. We're in sublevels. Pause. Kesha's voice sharpened. Proof? Queen confirms. Get Admiral Hax. Tell him, hold fire. Wrong target. Scialath snatched the comm. Kish. Verify my voice print. Othun seizes throne. Purge imminent. Rally loyalists. Verified, Majesty. Kesha's tone iced. Othun's guards flood upper levels. I'm pinned in intel wing. Fleet hails every 30 seconds. Stall Rax. Scialath. Thrust the comm back. Reyes, lead. Jonah nodded. Tunnel forked ahead. Left. Steam vents, maintenance hum. Right. Fainter echoes. Boots marching. Right. Quieter. He drew his pistol. Advanced low. She followed. Limping. Foam held, but blood seeped edges. Why protect me? Humans serve contracts. Mine ends today. Contracts active. Jonah glanced back, her eyes compound, glowing, locked on him. Fear lurked there. Proud queen, cornered. You bleed out, I fail. Simple. Echoes grew. Voices hissed in the alien dialect. Coup gods. Jonah pressed into a side alcove. Pipes dripped condensation. He signaled silence. 2 guards rounded the bend. Chitin armor gleamed under glow strips. Rifles swept. Syleth tensed, claws flexed. He moved first. Silent dash. Pistol butt cracked one guard's mandible. Alien crumpled, gurgling. Second spun. Jonah sidestepped the rifle blast. Wall scorched. He drove elbow into throat joint. Guard choked, dropped. Syleth stared. Efficient. No flourish. Ex-medic. Breakage is breakage. Jonah stripped rifles. Plasma cells full. He handed her one. Yours. She gripped it. Mandibles parted, an alien equivalent of a grim smile. Lead on. They pushed deeper. Alarms wailed distant. Palace shook, bulk doors, sealing sectors. Com buzzed. Admiral Hagg's gravel voice. Human. Director Varun vouches. But Queen's beacon silent. Fleet holds orbit. Evidence or we sterilize. Jonah thumbed respond. Othun's staging human hit. Check chamber vids. My position clean. Syleth leaned in. Huh. Rax. Trust, Reyes. He saved me. Othun's in throne room now. Transmit proof. Rax grunted. Vids confirm off-worlder dive. No shot from you, but coup spreads. Your path? Sub-3 to Intel Wing. Jonah eyed a junction map etched on wall. Rendezvous cache. Expose Othun live. 10 minutes. Fleet locks if no link. Click. Syleth sagged against him. He doubts humans. Always. Results change minds. Jonah supported her weight. Tunnel narrowed. Air thickened with ozone. Power relays ahead. Guards ahead. 4 this time. Patrolling junction. Goal. Intel Wing. Conflict. Crossfire zone. Jonah scanned. Overhead ducts. Grate loose. Up. He boosted her. Claws scraped metal. She vanished inside. He followed. Crawl space tight. Fins of alien armor scraped his back. Dust choked lungs. Below, guards barked orders. Seal vents. Queen flees with human pet. Pet. Jonah, gritted teeth, crawled faster. Ducked, dumped into relay room. Consorals sparked. Empty. Syleth dropped down. Rifle ready. Clear. Com crackled. Cache. Reyes. Breach in 5. Othahun broadcasts lies. Claims you assassinated me too. Hold. Jonah patched into console. Hacked diplomatic override. Human tech edge. Galactic net access. Screen lit. Othun's face smug. Majesty fallen to off-worlder treachery. Fleet. Avenge. Live feed. Jonah spliced audio. Overlay Queen's voice print. Counter broadcast. Syleth recorded falsehoods. Othun usurper. Ray's protector. Transmit. Palace speakers boomed her voice. Chaos erupted. Distant shouts. Firefights. Cache burst in. Sharp-featured alien. Intel cloak. Shredded. 2 loyalists flanked. Bold. Fleet pings confirmation. Rax's voiceover comm. Proof accepted. Risk model updated. Human competence noted. Orthun's forces converge on your position. Evac shuttle prepped. Move. Sciolith straightened. Claws gripped Jonah's shoulder. You turned ambush to salvation. Not done. Jonah checked her wound. Foam intact. Fleet holds. Now purge the snake. Boots thundered corridor. Orthun's elites, 10 strong. Door buckled. Jonah raised rifle. Breach left. Cover right. Sciolith fired first. Plasma bolt vaporized lead god's helmet. Kesh flanked. Together, door exploded inward. Blasters roared. Jonah rolled. Squeezed trigger. 2 down. Human reflexes. Predict arcs. Dodge bursts. Silathi's shots, precise regal fury unleashed. For the hive! Loyalists poured fire. Bodies piled. Last guard charged. Jonah sidestepped, tripped him into Kesh's blade. Silence. Sciolith slumped. Res. I underestimated. He caught her. Walk it off. Shuttle waits. Rack. Rax's voice crackled over the comm. Raise. Shuttle inbound. 5 minutes. Orthun's elite swarm your sector. Service tunnels to pad 3. Move. Jonah hoisted his rifle. Sciolith leaned on him, her iridescent scales dulled by blood loss. Kesh signaled his 2 loyalists, cloaked figures with blades drawn. Bodies of Orthun's guards smoked on the floor. Tunnel access ahead. Jonah pointed. They bolted. Alarms wailed. Palace speakers thundered. Queen Sciolith terminated by human assassin. All units converge. Purge the off-worlder. Boots echoed from both directions. Heavy armored thuds closing fast, Sciolith hissed. They declare me dead. Fleet will fire on the palace. Not yet. Jonah kicked a side panel. Maintenance closet. In here. Buy time. They piled inside. He slammed the door. Red lockdown lights pulsed. The main bulkhead ahead sealed with a hydraulic hiss. Pry bar. Jonah yanked it from his pack, jammed the flat end into the door seam, braced his boot against the frame. Muscles strained. Metal screeched. Queen! Brace! Kesh! Cover rear! Kesh nodded. Blaster raised. His sharp eyes flicked to Jonah's arms. Human brute force. Noted. Sparks showered. The door buckled. Jonah heaved. It swung free with a clang. Corridor beyond. Dim service tunnel. Pipes hissing steam. Boots louder now. Left flank 20 meters. Right 10. Radio Kesh. Sciolith clutched her side. Foam bandage held, but her breaths rasped. Jonah thumbed his comm. Encrypted bus to Intel Director. Varun, it's Reyes. Queen secure. Need tunnel schematics. Pursuers inbound. Kesh's voice snapped back. Location. Open channel. No. Jonah patched. Direct link. Orthun's tapping palace freaks. Send schematics blind. We ghost. Pause. Loyalty proven. Data incoming. Schematics bloomed on Jonah's wrist display. Junction ahead forked, left to shuttle pad, right to vents. Boots pounded closer. Plasma whine from right flank. Rig. Diversion. Jonah scanned closet junk. Scavenge pressure sensor from pipe valve. Twisted wires to blaster power cell. Duct tape secured. Tripwire here. Baits them into overload. Kesh's mandibles clicked approval. Crude. Effective. Aliens favor plasma traps. This improvised. Human special. Jonah strung the wire across the tunnel mouth. Sensor primed. Step on it. Vents rupture. Steam blast at 200 psi. Pursuers cooked. Set. He grabbed Sci-Elf. Go. She staggered. Claws dug into his vest. Reyes. Wound slows me. Leave. Save yourself. Hive needs witnesses. No. Jonah scooped her legs. Fireman's carry. She weighed like armored luggage, but balanced. Ex-medic rule. No one left. Her tail lashed protest. Pride dies later. He charged the tunnel. Cache and loyalists flanked, blasters sweeping shadows. First pursuers hit the wire. Boom. Steam erupted. Screams echoed, flesh scalded, armor melting. 5 down. Left flank burst around corner. 8 elites, Othuhun's black-armored fanatics. Blasters spat blue bolts. Jonah dove behind pipe cluster. Sci-Lef fired from his shoulder perch. Precise shot vaporized a helmet. Hive indoors! Cache rolled left. Dual blades flashed, gutted a charger. Loyalists poured fire. Dropped 2. Fork left! Jonah barked. Schematic showed shuttle pad. He sprinted, Queen bouncing against him. Plasma scorched his boot heel. Tunnel narrowed. Vents hummed overhead. Rearguard fired bursts. 3 elites pursued, relentless. Sae, Leth twisted, nailed one. You carry Queen like child. Impossible. Adrenaline. Jonah lied. Ex-medic training. Distribute weight. Protect vitals. Her blood soaked his back, warm and sticky. Kesh slashed the second pursuer. Last elite lunged. Jonah sidestepped, rammed, elbow into throat plate. Crack! Kesh finished with a blade twist. Silence broken by distant klaxons. Pad ahead. Shuffle pings. They burst into the evac bay. Night air rushed in. Open hangar under twin moons. Shuttle idled. Ramps down. Hrax's marines waved them aboard, but speakers blared again. Human confirmed assassin. Fleet target lock. Palace core. Syleth stiffened. Othun overrides. Hrax doubts. Jonah dumped her into a crash seat. Strapped her tight. Cache. Jam Palace net. I'll counter. Cache patched in. Fleet holds. Hrax queries proof. Jonah ripped diplomatic console panel. Human override chip slotted. Galactic nets surged. Othun's face dominated emergency feed. Treachery confirmed. Avenge, Majesty. Overlay. Jonah spliced Silith's voice print from earlier record. False. Othun usurper. Raise. Protector. Fleet, stand down. Transmit. Shuttle lurched skyward. Marines sealed ramp. G-forces pinned them. Palace speakers boomed the counter-broadcast. Chaos visible below. Firefights erupted in courtyards. Loyalists rallying. Hrax's voice filled cabin. Proof. Verified. Risk model. Human competence elevated. Othun's cruiser detached. Pursuit vector. Queen status. Syleth gripped Jonah's arm. Claws retracted slightly. Alive. Do raise. Jonah checked her wound, replied Foam. Stable. But Othun's not done. He'll spin this. Cache leaned in. Intel confirms. Consort magistrate staged human incident. Purge descent. Blame off-worlder. Fleet was seconds from orbital strike. Marines stared at Jonah. One mandibled whisper carried Queen. Through elites, Sylith met Jonah's eyes. Her pupils dilated. Alien trust signal. You refused my order. Saved us. Job. Jonah shrugged. Diplomacy guard. Protect asset. Shuttle banked hard. Alarms blared. Incoming fire! Othun's gunship. Plasma lanced past. Hull shuddered. Jonah unstrapped gunner stations. Queen, stay put. Kesh handed him a turret control. Prove continued. Jonah manned the dorsal gun. Sights locked gunship. Sleek predator darting low. Tracers spat. He walked bursts predicted weave. Human eyes tracked arcs. Aliens missed. Hit. Gunship wing. Sheared. It spiraled into palace spire. Explosion lit the night. Marines cheered. Hawks confirmed kill. Reyes efficiency. Extraordinary. Sylith smiled faint. Hive owes human debt. Fleet loomed ahead. Capital ships holding formation. No palace barrage, but sensors pinged. Othun's cruiser, cloaked, flanking. Real enemy exposes. Jonah vectored data to racks. There, purged the snake. Prax, engaging. Queen, broadcast hive command. Rally ground forces. Sylith rose. Wound be damned. Stood at console. Loyal hive. Othun traitor. Converge throne room. Reyes witness. Transmit galaxy-wide. Below, palace erupted. Loyalist swarms overwhelmed coup guards. Atuan's elites fell back. Cruiser decloaked, fired desperate volley. Rax's dreadnought answered, rail guns thundered. Cruiser split, debris raining. Silence over comms, victory. Shuffle docked fleet carrier. Medics rushed Sylith. Jonah followed, rifle slung. Cage clapped his shoulder. Test passed. Human not liability. Admiral Hax waited in bay, towering, metals gleaming. Eyed Jonah. Models rewritten Jonah slammed the service panel open. Sparks flew. He jammed his multi-tool into the access port. The palace network resisted. Firewalls pulsed like living veins. His fingers danced. Bypass code from his contractor days. Cracked it wide. Screen flickered. Last 10 minutes of security footage loaded. Throne room feed. Queen Sylith stood tall, iridescent scales gleaming under the chandeliers. Consort Magistrate Uthuhun approached, smile too smooth. A glint dart launcher concealed in his cuff. Fired. Dart struck her neck. She staggered. Othun signaled guards. Chaos erupted. Proof. Jonah's jaw tightened. He ripped the data packet free, slotted it into his wrist pad. Downloaded duplicate, but the terminal glitched. Lines of code scrolled. Overwrite protocol engaged. Footage corrupted in real time. Frames dissolving into static. Palace AI purging evidence. Footsteps thundered. Door hissed open. Kesh Varun stormed in, flanked by 2 agents. Mandibles clicked fury. Human. Step away. You're under detention for palace breach. Agents leveled pulse rifles. Jonah raised empty hands. Slow. Wristpad stayed live. Watch this verse. Then detain me. Kesh hesitated. Eyed the terminal. 10 seconds, Reyes. Move wrong, you drop. Jonah tapped playback. Hologram projected midair, crystal clear till the end. Frame 1, Othun's cuff gleams. Frame 2, dart launches. Trajectory perfect. Frame 3. Impact. Queen clutches throat. Frame 4. Athun mouths. Purge the weak. Guards swarm. Not to protect. To silence. Keisha's agents lowered weapons a fraction. Director leaned in, compound eyes narrowing. This? Authentic? Time-stamped. Pulled live before overwrite. Jonah paused on Athun's face. Your spymaster staged it. Blames humans to spark purge. Keish snarled. Othun's elites control the core. If true. Alarms wailed. Distant blasts shook the walls. Jonah spun toward the medbay door. Queen Syleth lay there, tended by a single loyal medic. Dart still embedded. Proof needs chain. Cover me. He bolted. Agents twitched, but Keish waved them back. Let him. Results matter. Medbay stank of cauterized flesh. Syleth writhed, pale under bioluminescent lights. Her wound oozed green ichor. Jonah knelt. Your Majesty, hold still. Extracting, she hissed, proud eyes locking his. Human touch, forbidden. Fixes broken parts. Trust the mechanic. He sterilized forceps from the tray, probed gentle. Dart tip barbed, lodged deep. Twisted, precise, ex-medic steady. Pulled free. Tiny vial of toxin gleamed inside. Syleth gasped. Color returned faint. Pain fades. Jonah sealed the dart in evidence tube. Scanned chain of custody tag from his kit, Universal Diplomat Protocol. Logged extractor, J. Reyes. Timestamp 14 hours, 27 minutes, and 41 seconds. Witness Keish Varum. Sealed with biometric lock. Forensics gold. Tox profile will match Othun's labs. Kesh hovered a door, scanning Jonah's wrist pad. Face twisted. Incoming packet. Forged broadcast. Othun Sig. Claims Queen dead by human assassin. Fleets prepping barrage on Pallas. Syleth pushed up. Counter it. Too late. Network's his. Keish gripped Jonah's arm. Claws pricked but held. Hanger. Now. Shuttle. Prepped. Silence till clear. Agents fell in. Jonah scooped Syleth's arm. Support, not carry. She leaned. Pride warring with need. Corridors blurred. Blaster fire echoed. Kukards rounded corner. Keisha's agents dropped them. Precise bursts. Elevator to sub-levels. Doors sealed. Descent hummed. Keish patched secure line. Racks hold fire. Queen alive. Traitor Othun. Static crackled. Admiral's voice boomed. Proof, Director. Humans complicate models. Jonah shoved his pad forward. Footage here. Dart evidence en route. Pause. Receiving. Analyzing. Hacks grunted. Trajectory. Human impossible. Othun's weave. Stand by. Elevator dinged. Hangar doors parted. Gunships swarmed outside. Othun's mark. Service shuttle crouched low. Engines hot. Pilot waved. Frantic. Port! Kesh shoved Jonah ahead with Queen. They piled in. Ramp cycled. Shuttle lurched skyward. Plasma bolts scorched past. Jonah strapped Syleth secure. Grabbed turret remote from rack. Gunner. Kesh nodded, grim. Prove loyalty again. Sights locked first pursuer. Jonah fired bursts tight, wing shredded. Gunship plummeted, more inbound. Syleth gripped his seat. You anticipate. Patterns. Jonah tracked next weave. Human eyes caught the arc aliens lagged on. Hit. Keish stared. Extraordinary. Hive recalibrates. Fleet loomed. Capital ships silhouetted against stars. No barrage yet, but sensor screamed. Cloaked cruiser flanking. Haffoon's ace. Jonah vector data burst to Frax. There. Purge it. Frax. Confirmed. Engaging. Shuttle banked into Carrier Bay. Medic swarmed Syleth. Jonah slung rifle, stepped out. Keish clapped his shoulder. Admiral Rax towered ahead, metals agleam. Eyed Jonah. Models rewritten. Human not liability asset. Syleth, stretchered past, met Jonah's gaze. Faint smile. Debt binds us. But palace feeds flickered on bay screens. Othun's face broadcast wide. Hive! The Queen's God. A human slays her. Rally to me. Loyalists surged below. Not over. Frax barked orders. Reyes, you fly with us? Jonah nodded. Fix the brake. Explosions rocked the carrier. Uthum's cruiser decloaked. Final gambit. Railguns charged. Syleth's voice cut comms. Loyal Hive. Reyes witness. Converge. Fleet thundered to life. Jonah gripped console. Proof held. Now, enforcement. Explosions rattled the carrier's hangar deck. Jonah yanked Queen Syleth from the stretcher as medics scattered. Alarms wailed. Bay doors buckled under railgun impacts from Othun's cruiser. Keish shoved a sidearm into Jonah's hand. Traitors boarded during dock. Othun's worms in the vents. Secure her. Saya Lith clutched her wounded side, iridescent blood staining her robes. Her mandibles clicked pain. Reyes! Jonah scanned the chaos. Cargo skiffs lined the far wall. Engines cold. Blast doors groaned shut, sealing the main exit. Strike teams repelled from ceiling grates. Othuns, black-armored elites, plasma rifles hot. He dragged Syleth toward the nearest skiff, under the console. Now! She hissed, but obeyed, sliding into the shadowed footwell. Jonah vaulted the hood. Wires sparked under his knife. Red to ground. Blue to power. Engine coughed alive. Boots thundered closer. Human! Surrender the pretender! Jonah floored it. The skiff surged, treads chewing deck plating. Blast door, iris to half shut. He rammed through. Metal screamed. Sparks showered. They burst into the auxiliary tunnel, door sealing behind. Syleth gripped his leg. You breach, like hive stone cracks. Tricks from junkyards. Jonah checked mirrors. Pursuit lights flared. 3 skiffs on tail, troops hanging off sides. Tunnel narrowed. Junction, ahead split to fuel depot. Jonah spotted the winch control. Hold tight. Strike team's lead skiff closed gap. Guns barking. Bolts scorched the rear deck. Jonah slapped a panel. Smoke canister dropped from undercarriage. Thick gray fog billowed. Choking sensors. Troops fired blind. Jonah swerved. Skiff fishtailed. He killed power. Yanked emergency brake. Out. Under here. Syleth rolled beneath the chassis. Jonah joined her. Rifle braced on axle. Fog swirled. Shapes loomed. First trooper emerged, coughing. Jonah double-tapped center mass. Second charged. Syleth's claw slashed his ankle from below. He toppled. Jonah finished him. Effective, she whispered. Mandibles brushed his arm in approval. Lead skiff braked short, troops dismounting. Jonah eyed the wall, pipe, fuel line pressurized. If I had winch remote, cable whipped out, hooked the seam, reversed hard. Line ruptured. Cryofuel gushed. Flash freezing the deck. Pursuit skiffs hydroplaned, slamming stacks. Troops slipped, encased in ice mid-stride. Jonah restarted. Skiff lurched over the slick chains rattling. Clear. They barreled into the depot bay. Emergency lights pulsed red. Hatches ahead led to escape pods, but comms crackled. Unknown craft in Hangar Arc 7. Weapons free. Identify or fire. Admiral Rack's voice boomed, precise as a targeting ping. Sialath tensed. Fleet locks on. He mistakes us for boarders. Jonah grabbed the dash mic. Troops outside. Uthuhun's remnants crawled from the ice. Rifles rising. One aimed at the skiff's canopy. Can't transmit. Voice gives us away. Plasma bolt. Cracked glass. Jonah floored. Throttle toward hatches. Hax's countdown echoed. 10 seconds. Purge protocols active. Silas' claw dug into his thigh. Reyes, decide. He swerved into cover stacks. Fleet guns whined to charge up outside the bay. One wrong word, and Othum's snipers glassed them first. Deck shook. Capital turrets aligned. Jonah's mind raced patterns. Transmit silent ID burst? No. Queen's protocols jammed it. Yo, human override. Rex recalibrated. Might not trust. Troops flanked left. Silath shifted, ready to fight. Rax. 5. Firing. Jonah breathed steady. Humans fixed brakes under fire. He hotwired the stiff's cargo arm, swung it wide to smash the nearest sniper. But the shot lined up clean. No time. Keish's voice cut in on private channel patch from bridge. Reyes. Rax doubts. Othun's broadcast poisons feeds. Prove again. Can't speak. Jonah's vocal mic. Snipers pin us. Understood. Stalling. Click. Fleet hold fire. Klaxon blared. Seconds bought. Jonah used it. He kicked skiff door. Rolled out firing. Dropped 2 flankers. Saye Leth emerged opposite. Her ceremonial blade flashing. Severed a rifle barrel. Gutted the wielder. Like that, she said. They piled back. Jonah punched hangar override. Hatches parted to void exposed ramp. Skiff teetered on edge. Othuhun's cruiser loomed on screens, railguns spitting at carrier shields. But smaller shuttles detached. Boarding waves. Racks hailed open. Reyes, confirm visual. Queen status. Snipers regrouped. Lead trooper broadcast. Hive. Human slays her now. Glass shattered fully. Jonah shielded Sialeth. Mike live. Admiral. Reyes. Queen. Secure. Othun's lies. Bolt grazed his shoulder. Sialeth yanked him down. Transmission gobbled. Frax. Unclear. Resuming lock. No. Jonah patched shuffle remote from earlier. Rack grab. Cache. Relay palace cams. Real time. Cache. Sent. Hold! Bay screens flickered. Footage burst. Bethune spymaster self-incriminating. Coup orders logged. Rax paused. Verified. Stand down, gunners. Fleet barrage shifted, pounded Othuman's cruiser. Explosions lit the void. Jonah exhaled. Skiff ramped into pod bay. Sileth met his eyes. You see breaks, others miss. Teamwork. He stanched her wound with med gel from pouch. Ex-medic habits. Kesh arrived with Marines, cuffing last snipers. Loyalty proven. Again. Admiral Hrack strode in, scanning wreckage. Eyed the flooded deck, smoke residue. Risk model. Human improvisation exceeds projections. Asset Class 1.
Sci-Lith rose, leaning on Jonah. Debt deepens rays.
Hive remembers. But cruiser debris pinged shields. Othuno escaped pod. Launched final worm. Hrack's hunt begins. Reyes, you lead breach team? Jonah nodded, slinging rifle. Patterns clear. Fix the brake. Pod streaked toward planet capital. Loyalists rallied below per Sci-Leaf's earlier call. Trap or triumph. Explosions rocked again. Incoming fire. Not Othorns. Pirate. Opportunistic swarm. Sensor screamed. Third faction. Cloaked. Syleth stiffened. Worse. Rival queens. They smell blood. Jonah gripped console. No brakes fixed yet. Explosions rattled the skiff's hull. Jonah slammed the console. Shields flickered red. Cloaked drones swarming from the debris field. Syleth gasped beside him. Her gill frills collapsed inward. Blue blood bubbled at her neck seal. Airway breach, Jonah said. He yanked his med pouch open. Field tube. Heat sealer. Ex-medic kit, human-sized. Keish's voice crackled over comms. Reyes, rival Queen's vanguard. Frax's fleet locks on your signature, thinks you're compromised. No. Jonah sealed the skiff's medbay partition. Transmit. Burst. Medical telemetry. Her heartbeat. Syleth clutched the crash harness. Her claws dug into his sleeve. Fleet will fire. They see human craft, wounded queen. Proof first. Jonah slapped sensors to her chest. 4 pads, human standard. Stream encoded. Pulse steady at 140. Oxygen sats dropping fast. Burst fired to Frax's flagship. Frax's response boomed. Reyes. Telemetry received. Queen vital. Affirm. Airway collapsing. Need 60 seconds. Silence stretched. Drones pinged shields. One breached. Plasma scorched the outer hull. Risk unmodaled. Hrax growled. Human surgery on Queen. Delay granted. 60 seconds. Gunners hold. Jonah moved. Skiff lurched. He punched launch codes. Ion thrusters roared. They blasted from the pod bay into open void. Debris tumbling past viewports. Brace. He pinned Syleth's shoulders. Her eyes widened, multi-piled, locking on his hands. First cut. Vibroscalpel nicked the failed med gel seal. Blood welled, thick and iridescent. Air wheezed out. Drones pursued. Skiff bucked. 40 seconds. Jonah threaded the field tube. Nanolube slicked it. He angled past cartilage spurs. Alien anatomy, but patterns matched scans from briefings. Insert. Inflate. Her frill spasmed. Claws raked his arm. Pain flared, but he held. Heat sealer hummed. Clamp. Fuse. Tissue sizzled, sealing around the tube. 20 seconds. Telemetry spiked. Ox levels climbing. Syleth's grip tightened on his sleeve. Not tearing now. Holding. Reyes, my pride means nothing. Save my people. Expose the rivals their queens plot hive split. He nodded. Sealer clicked off. Clean sill. Done. Breathe. She inhaled. Tube gurgled but steady. Relief washed her face ridges. 10 seconds, Hrax barked. Status? Secure, Jonah said. Launching proof burst. 2 rival drone signatures match Queen Vesh core markings. From palace logs. Data streamed. Hull etchings. Compings. Cage had relayed them earlier. Hrax paused. Verified. Fire shift. Skiff viewport lit orange. Fleet lances speared the drone swarm. Cloaks failed. Hulks vaporized. Jonah banked hard. Evasion complete, but sensors screamed anew. Larger shadow decloaking. Rival cruiser. Veshkor's mark. Pod bay secure? He asked Keish. Affirm. Marines inbound. Bethune escape pod downed. Loyalists have his logs. Sialeth straightened. Tube stabilized her breaths. Veshkor strikes now. She allies with Othumhun remnants. Purge my line, claim the throne. Jonah scanned tactical. Fleet repositioned, but cruiser jammed their locks. Skiff too small to fight. Evade to Harax's flank, he said. Thrusters flared. They skinned wreckage, using Othumhun's debris as cover. Her claw stayed on his sleeve, trust etched in the grip. You fixed me. Human hands on Queen's throat. No alien medic dares. Broken part. Fixed it. He patched hull breaches with emergency foam. Ex-medic. Improvise. Keish cut in. Reyes, Oxqueries. Lead breach on Veshkor's cruiser? Your model updated. Jonah eyed Sialeth. She nodded. Lead. I command from here. Affirm. He slung the rifle maglock. Dock prep. Skiff shuddered into micro-jump alignment. Rax's dreadnought loomed. 60 clicks out. Marines prepped grapples. But Veshkor's cruiser spat fighters. 10 signatures closing fast. Shields at 40%. Jonah said. He fired skiff guns. Human retrofit. Precise bursts. 2 fighters crumpled. Sialeth monitored fleet comms. Hax holds fire line. Trusts your telemetry. Fighters swarmed. 1 grazed the hull. Alarms wailed. Jonah rolled the skiff. Centrifugal force pinned them. He targeted weak vents. Alien designs. Over-armored hulls, but fragile exhausts. 3 down. Fighters peeled off, regrouping. Dock in 5, Keish said. Breach team sinks. Sialeth's voice hardened. Veshkor fears exposure. Her logs tied to Uthum's coup. Broadcast them. Jonah cued the burst. Palace cams. Othumhun's orders. Rival queen pings. HiveNet flood. Fleet channels erupted. Betrayal confirmed. Hrax roared. All ships purge Veshkor. Cruiser shields buckled under barrage. Fighters scattered. Hrax's interceptors shredded them. Skiff clamped to Dreadnought Bay. Ramp hissed open. Marines swarmed in, carapace armor gleaming. Keish gripped Jonah's shoulder. Loyalty test passed. Again. Queen lives because of you. Sialeth stepped out. Tube camouflaged under robes. She leaned fractionally on Jonah. Subtle, but Marines noted. Rax towered at Bay Command. Eyestalk scanned Jonah top to bottom. Human. Telemetry precision. Surgery success. Risk model rewritten. You breach with us. Jonah checked rifle charge. Patterns clear. Lead the way. They piled into breach pods. Sialeth stayed on skiff, directing loyalists planetside. Her people rallied. Hive broadcasts carried her voice. Tube muffled but unbroken. Pods launched. Veshkor's cruiser filled viewports. Hull breaches glowing. Boarding clamps, Jonah called. Pods latched. Cutter's word. Marines poured through. Laser fire crisscrossed corridors. alien grunts. Veshkor loyalists, frills flared in rage. Jonah dropped low. Methodical, cover to cover. Human reflexes, quick, adaptive. One guard lunged, claws out. Jonah sidestepped, rifle butt cracked mandible. Down. Kesh flanked him. Your moves, unpredictable. We train rigid. Fix the brake, Jonah said. Pushed forward. Bridge doors ahead. Veshkor waited, robed in rival gold. Othun's consort insignia pinned to her chest. Proof. You dare, she hissed. Guards formed wall. Hrack's voice boomed external. Surrender. Logs broadcast. Hive judges. Veshkor snarled. Human pet saves pretender queen. Hive splits anyway. Jonah signaled. Grenades rolled. Smoke bloomed. Marines charged. He vaulted console, grabbed her comm slate, downloaded final logs. Full coup alliance. Guards fell. Veshkor slumped, cuffed. Kesh sealed the bridge. Det eternal rays. Back on Dreadnought. Xylith waited in medbay. Troop removed. Airway scarred, but functional. She rose, unaided. Claws touched his wounded arm. Gentle seal with her Gen gel. You spent a minute on my life. Hive spends lifetimes on yours. Jonah flexed the arm. Patterns fixed. For now. Sensors pinged. Outer rim signatures. More rivals probing. Rack strode in. Hunt expands. Sparks showered the cargo bay. Cutters screamed through the skiff's hull. Jonah Reyes stood dead center, hands locked high above his head. Blood-soaked toolkit squatted at his boots. Behind him, Queen Sialath slumped against a crate, airway tube clamped in her neck, scales dulled by shock. Her claws gripped his calf. Weak anchor, the breach yawned open. Rax's Marines stormed through, frills rigid, pulse rifles trained. 8 of them, armored in matte black, crests flaring red alert. Human, the squad leader barked, mandible clicking. Step away from the Queen, now. Jonah kept palms open, empty. She's alive. Barely. Dart hit her. Othun's mark. He nodded at the toolkit. Evidence inside. Analyze it. Frills quivered. Rifles stayed locked. You're the shooter. Palace logs show human breach. Stand down or die. Sialeth rasped through the tube. Reyes. Saved me. Leader's crest twitched. Eyed the toolkit. Blood dripped from its seals. Queen's blue ichor mixed with sealant foam. Kneel. Hands behind. Jonah. Dropped slow. Methodical. Like field stripping a jammed rifle. Marines circled. One yanked the toolkit. Popped it. Dart vial gleamed inside, etched with consort insignia. Authentic, the tech marine hissed. Scanned it. Neurotox. Othun's private stock. Palace armory match. Leader's frill softened a notch. Rax. Confirm. Human has proof, Queen breathing. Rax's voice crackled over squad comm. Hold fire. Reyes report. Othun staged it, Jonah said. Blame the human guard. Coup's his. Launched drones inbound. Sensors pinged 30 seconds out. Alarms wailed. Hull shuddered. Drones latched external. Othun's loyalists, micro-missiles hot. Form up, leader snapped. Human, you lead or stay cuffed. Jonah rose, grabbed his sidearm from Marine boot. Follow close. Cargo shadows ahead. They stacked at the bay door. Jonah cracked it. Stacks of alloy crates loomed, twisted maze from crash evasion. Drone whine pierced vents. Red scan beams stabbed darkness. He crouched low. Human eyes adjusted fast, pointed 2 fingers, right tight corridor. Drone blind spot. Thumbs up. Move. Marines hesitated. Their rigid training drilled straight assaults. Jonah's signals? Improv jazz. Squad leader mimicked. Crest puzzled. Unorthodox. Works, Jonah said. Slid forward. First drone buzzed in. Jonah vaulted crate. Elbow smashed optic. Wreckage sparked. Marines fired. Plaza bolts shredded it. Second drone swarm poured. 10 strong. Marines fell back. Frills. Panic flared. Too many. Flank exposed. Jonah scanned panels. Power conduits glowed faint. Skiff's magnetic clamps. Cargo haulers. Untapped. Cover me. He sprinted to engineering console. Claws clicked behind. Silaith crawled closer, tube gurgling. Reroute sequence flashed mind. Ex-medic hack. Bypass safeties like re-rigging vanes. Fingers flew. Power surged from engines to clamps. Hull groaned. Magnetic fields snapped live. Drones slammed external plating. Pinned flat. Rotors whining futile. Sparks flew. 6 crushed. 4 twitched. Offline. Marines stared. How? Clamps overload in 10 seconds. 5 now, Jonah said. Run. They hauled Sileith. Queen's weight dragged. 80 kilos of scale and claw. Jonah shouldered half. Her eye locked his. Trust sealed in grip. Bridge ahead. Kesh Faroon's face flickered on main holo screen. Royal Spymaster patched from Dreadnought. Reyes, status. Pinned drones. Queen secure. Streamed the dart. Kish nodded sharp. Othun on split comm. Confronting now. Screen split. Consort Magistrate Othun glowered from his escape shuttle. Robes askew. Loyalists flanking. Varun. The human murdered her. Fleet knows. Lies. Cash cut. Voice steal. Darts yours. Etchings match your vaults. Logs from Vesh Core confirm alliance. Othun's frill spasmed. Fabrication. Purge the mammal. Hive purity. Jonah jacked toolkit drive into console. Dart analysis streamed live. Chemical breakdown. Origin codes. Palace security overlays. Piped to every ship in Rax's fleet. Dreadnought. Cruisers. All. Rax's voice boomed fleet-wide. Evidence verified. Othun, stand down. Your drones. Neutralized. Fleet, retarget your signatures. Othun snarled. You trust a soft skin? He'll... Gah. Shuttle exploded. Fleet launches pierced it clean. Debris bloomed silent. Silence gripped the bridge. Marines lowered rifles. Squad leader's crest bowed slight. Human, your fixes. We drill patterns. You break them better. Jonah checked Sileth's tube. Stable flexed his gel-sealed arm. Her gift. Patterns break. We rebuild. Keisha's eyes narrowed, appraising. Loyalty proven, Reyes. But probes linger outer rim. Othun had backers. Sileth pulled tube gingerly. Voice wet but clear. Human spent blood. I've repays steel. Sensors screamed anew. Shadow. Signatures. Massing. Rival hive cruisers. Frills up for war. Hax's dreadnought loomed viewport. Clamps ready. Boarding incoming. Jonah said. Round 2. Marines gripped weapons. Frills synced to his lead. Hull thrummed. Cutter's word again, this time allies. But shadows closed fast. Trust forged, in blood, tested now. Hull shuddered as Cutters bit deep. Jonah gripped the medtube's edge. Queen Sialath's frill fluttered inside. Vitals steady green. Marines flanked him, frills rigid, rifles trained on the breach. Case stood at the console, claws flying over controls. Rack's voice crackled fleet-wide. Boarding teams secured the bridge. Uthum's remnants purged. Airlocks hissed open. Alien troops stormed in, Haxa's elites crests high. They swept past Jonah without pause, lasers sweeping shadows. One squad peeled off to the Queen's tube. Their leader nodded sharp at Jonah. Human lead confirmed. We follow. Kaish slammed a purge command. Forged broadcast nodes winked out across the palace grid. Lies severed, she hissed. Othun's co-conspirators exposed. Hrack's image flickered on the main hollow screen. His dreadnought filled the viewport, clamps locking the palace hull tight. Barun, tribunals convene, arrest vectors locked. Drones swarmed from his bays, lancing toward the outer rim shadows. Rival hive cruisers scattered, signatures fracturing under fleet fire. Explosions bloomed silent in the void. Probes vaporized, cruisers veered, frills flashing surrender codes. Hrack's tone iced over. Co-conspirators in custody. Magistrates Tharavek and Lirun detained. Their vaults matched the dart etchings. Jonah exhaled slow. Gel seal on his arm itched. Sialeth's blood mend, holding. He checked her tube again. Heartbeat strong. She's stable. Medbay evac now. Marines formed up. 2 hefted the tube. Jonah walked point toolkit slung low. Corridors thrummed with boot falls. Palace guards knelt as they passed, crests low. Misled ones, rifles dropped. No shots fired. Medbay doors parted with a whine. Tribunal recorders waited. 3 robed elders, frills neutral, lenses whirring. Jonah pulled the dart from his sealed pouch. Held it high. Assassin's tool. Origin. Othon's vaults. He jacked his drive into their console. Footage streamed. Dart strike. His patch job. Bridge takedown. Chemical scans overlaid palace logs. Live to the fleet. To the hive courts. Elder crest bobbed. Verified. Human testimony waits equal. Kaish entered behind. Purge complete. Broadcast nodes clean. Othun's human incident script. Shredded. Jonah nodded once. Stepped back. Marines wheeled the Queen's tube to the central bay. Healers swarmed, frills sinking. Probes extended. Silath's eyes cracked open beneath. Gasps rippled the chamber. Recorders froze. Healers bowed low. Her gaze locked on Jonah. Frill lifted slow. Colors blooming royal blue. Voice rasped through the tube's vox. Reyes, you walked us through fire. He shrugged. Fixed what broke. Fleet feed went live. Rack's bridge patched in. Courts across the hive netted. Millions watched. Silath pulled the tube seal. Sat up fluid. Healers parted. She rose. Robes manifesting from nanoweave. Crest flared full. Hear me, hive. Jonah Reyes turned blade to shield. He mended my blood when guards faltered. Othun's coup dies with him. Misled gods. Amnesty. Rise. Serve. Guards outside roared assent. Frills synced in waves. Rack's image nodded sharp. Queen restored. Fleet stands. Recorders advanced. Elder spoke. Human, name your boon. Tribunal offers title. Shield of the Crest. Lands. Hive bond. Jonah met Sileth's eyes. Shook head. No titles. Send warnings late again, we all die. He tapped his toolkit. Joint protocol. Human med scans linked to your fleets. Alien intel feeds my patterns. Next dart flies. We catch it first. Silence gripped the bay. Sileth's frill pulsed. Keisha's eyes narrowed, appraising. Hrax grunted. Bold. Risky. Models recalibrate. The Queen stepped forward. Claws gripped his sealed arm. Granted. Reyes protocols integrate. Hive learns human fix. Frills across the feed rippled shock. A human demanded and won. Jonah flexed the gel seal. Felt her pulse echo in it. Trust seal. But sensors pinged anew. Outer rim ghosts. Arthurhund's backers. Cage barked orders. Marines spun. SciFI's grip tightened. Again? Jonah jacked his drive. Scans live. Patterns repeat. We break them. Healers cleared space. Tribunal elders bowed out. Rax's dreadnought unclamped slow bays yawning for evac. Pala shook as shuttles prepped. Jonah walked Sileth to the bay doors. Her stride matched his. Queen and guard synced. Marines fell in. Frills low to his lead. Kesh flanked them. Probes confirm. Rival hive remnants. They mass for strike. Fleet retargets, Rax boomed. Human patterns uploaded. Drones adapt. Jonah scanned corridors. Empty now. Guards pledged anew outside. One knelt, offered rifle. Drill us. Raise. He waved it off. Fix your own brakes first. Sileth halted at shuttle ramp. Turned to him. You underestimate human. Hive sees now. Court feeds zoomed. Lenses caught her eyes. Open wide on him. The human who never dropped guard. Who walked her through coup fire. Purge blades. Fleet lances. Protecting them all. Frills across the hive flashed realization. Cheers erupted. Not for Queen alone. For the soft-skin who rebuilt their world. Jonah boarded first. Scanned shadows. Ramp up. Ghosts. Inbound. Shuttle thronged. Clamps released. Fleet closed ranks. Sileth sat beside him. Frill brushed his arm. Shield without title. Hive repays. He checked dot pouch. Empty. Logged. Toolkit hummed, protocols syncing. Next time, warning first. Engines roared. Void swallowed them. Rival signatures fractured under Harrick's fire. Drones danced human patterns. Evasive weaves no frill predicted. Cache patched in. Backers scatter. Protocols hold. Jonah leaned back. Gel seal warmed. Trust forged. Patterns broken. But rim scans flickered. One shadow lingered. Bold, Rax growled. Hunter class. Othun's ace. Jonah stood. My lead. Marines gripped rails. Frills synced. Sileth nodded. Yours. Shuttle banked hard. Lasers kissed hull. Jonah jacked controls. Human fix incoming.